that, as I said before, if you were here, that was that's been a labour of love, because the whole base of this caved in. It was on this huge frame. It was about 6 mil thick, 100 by 50 RHS frame right around, and it weighed. I'm not sure actually, but it weighed a lot. And when a bloke called John Cashin, who shifted us from Jerilderie to Gindera, we rang him up and said, "John, you're not coming back empty from Brisbane, Gold Coast or anything, are you?" He said, "Oh, no, not now, but why, what did you want picked up?" I said, "A submarine." He had a bit of a chuckle. But anyway, about 10 days later, he rings up and says, "Oh, I'm coming back from Brisbane empty. You still want that submarine picked up?" He said, first question he asked was, "How much does it weigh?" And they said, "Oh, in the adverts, they said about 200 kilos. Thinking, "Oh, that's fine." So off he rocks up this bloke's place. They had to push it in with an excavator, and you'll see some photos in the catalogue. I meant to have a lot of photos shown on the thing there, but ran out of time. And because of the weight, he was coming down. He got to about Dubbo on Friday night, and I rang him up to see how it's travelling. He said, "Oh, not real good, Bradley. It's all caved in the bottom." Because you got to think, it was a movie prop. It was 13 years old then, and it's sitting in the backyard on the Gold Coast, so she's just rusted away, literally. It's got inch-by-inch angle frame, and there was just nothing for the first 6 or 8 inches in a lot of places right through it. And so anyway, I asked him, how was it travelling? He said, "Oh, it's all caved in." He says, "Oh, it weighs a bit more than sorry." When he loaded it up, I asked him how much he thought it weighed. He said, "Oh, about 750 kilos. That's what he thought when he pushed it in the truck, in the excavator in the truck." And on the Friday night, the Saturday night when he got to go, I said to him, "So, how's it travelling now?" He says, "Well, it's just caved in. It's trashed a fair bit underneath, but it definitely weighs more than 750 kilos." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, it's punched 3 big holes through the floor of my truck." So the bucks that we're going to give him for the couriering cost us a bit more to fix the floor in his truck. And it's like, it was that 25 mil floor. It was on caster, 4 caster wheels. So, and then we had to literally forklift it out into a shed at Jerilderie. That's where she lived for a couple of years while we fixed it up. And we didn't, like, all this stuff was on it, the roughness, so we didn't clean that off. And Tim, my son there, nearly got metal poisoning from the wire brushes, scraping them all back. And lucky it was like winter, because you had a jumper on. Those wire brushes fall apart. You know, wear safety glasses because you have all these spikes in you.
They come out.
Yeah, they come out. People. So it took. She took a fair bit of work to get it patched up to this. And but you can close the hatch and lock yourself in. The torpedoes somewhere in the shed at Jerilderie, unless it's gone and scrapped. They weren't held on by cable ties in the movie. There's 4 brackets somewhere. I don't know where they are. But Tim, one of the guys setting up here, used cable ties. You can't really see them. But Joy mentioned the Navy guy. There was 3 submariners in there on when was that? Wednesday, and 9 other Navy personnel here, and some very attractive young lady medics, I must admit. Well, I can't comment on the blokes, but they were. But they were stoked, and they came here. They weren't instructed to come here. They were asked if they wanted to come and have their photo taken in a submarine, a pirate submarine, and that was just such a fun ride, wasn't it? All evening. Yeah. So, I don't know whether we're allowed to. If you want to come and see me later, and we'll have a little study. So you're not going to be here on the 1st of March, or can't get here on the 15th. We'll have a look. The blokes that come to the dinner, you can have a look tonight. All right? You can have a look tonight. You can have a look at the throne and whatever there too. Now the next little bit was just a couple of cabinets. You know, that cabinet over there and that were Bianca's trade-off, if you like, because as I said, less is more. Bianca said less is more. I was allowed to have that cabinet and this cabinet and do anything I liked. So the messy cabinets were going to be curated by Bradley. But so we thought we were a bit purblind by the time we got to all of this. We had Barry and Jackie Edmonds call in to say good day because they were coming down for something. And I got a bit of 3 foot by 3 foot ply, sat it on a couple of cabinets in the Skull Cave and said, do you want to pull a few things out and put in here that you think might be a bit different? And so a lot of this stuff that they'd pulled out. But the tissue box is here because my daughter cut up a comic, which I couldn't believe, but she did. Cut up a comic and stuck that on, and that's the only one that'll ever happen. And she said, Dad, it's a bitch to make. So I thought, well, I'll put that in there. That tie is on the tie man. I married this wonderful lady. How many years ago? Nearly 14 years ago. With that, wearing that tie. That coffee mug, I cannot believe that I've had that forever. That coffee mug. I actually bought another one because I just thought, well, if I ever drop it, I may not find another one. So when I saw one, I bought another one. So it may be the other one, I don't know yet. But so these are just a few bits and pieces. I got that bike helmet, man, because Chris Hill stopped bidding on it, which was really nice of him.
It went above $20, so it was.
Yeah, went above $20. Yeah, most of us are out after $20.
We only stopped at 20. I mean,
Yeah, you're out after 20. That's right.
That's what we tell our wives anyway.
Yeah.
No idea. Do you know who made the helmets, the bike helmets?
There's 2. Is it?
Yeah, there's 2. There's another one.
Is it Hanson?
Scanson. Okay, Scanson. Okay.
I've got one.
And I walked. And that's a belt buckle and a little submarine medallion we got made. Okay, plug. They're out there for sale. If you want to buy one. The reason we ended up with the kangaroo, a bloke called Leon Walsh from Albury here. We said we're going over to Friends of the Phantom lunch, and mate, we need the Phantom as an Aussie, as a kangaroo, you know. And Guran, how do you draw Guran as an emu when Guran's like 3 of us? But he came with this great little design. We put a boomerang, Joy says the boomerang, we had good marks going, all that on it, and the ghost and Guran down under in a manner. And for us, it was such a buzz because we're in Sardis Cafe in New York with Luke McDonald and Cy Barry. And Cy said, I really like your t-shirt. So in Sardis Cafe, I've taken my t-shirt off, given it to Cy Barry. Now Joy, a bit more modest, went to the toilet, took her shirt off and gave it to Simi Barry.
I had a jacket.
Put a jacket on, a bit of a sports sport, but anyway. So I thought we'd just stick with the kangaroo because that means something to us. And yeah, we had a great time at that dinner. And Pete Klaus as well. Actually got to meet Pete for the second time because Richard, God bless him, got him over for one of our dinners, which was great because Richard Fry with the fan club dinners does such a great job. Without him we wouldn't get together once a year probably, and we wouldn't meet some of the people that we've met. We just wouldn't catch up with our other family. It's just we've met some unbelievable people, including Paul Maloney. Oh, there he is. And I forgot to say over there, most of you people would have seen, I'm sure, if you like the Phantom, the Chronicle Chamber. It's called the Digital Skull Cave, I think it is. Lord, Joe again, everything's on that website. It's great, you know. He does a great job. Well, he's also a bit of a gamer, and I said to him, mate, Bianca wanted to put like the Phantom 2040 game in here. I've got a couple. Which one's the thing? He took photos of all the game cartridges I've got, and he said they're American. That's for the handhold. This blah blah blah. Whole page of stuff. He said back. So I'm thinking, okay, I think it's this one then. That was easy. And then I said to him, mate, I got no Sega console. So off he went to eBay, searched eBay, came back with all these suggestions. This one's good. Almost rated them out of 1 to 10 every one. And said, oh, if I really had a choice, I'd buy this one. So put a bid on that. In fact, I think it was buy it now. And that game, the kids that come in here, and the big kids come in here, sit down, and go, where's Tim? Tim, the son. Oh, there you are. We set it up the Friday before it came in to make sure it all worked and everything. And someone who plays what's COD? Call of Duty. Call of Duty. I'm a gamer, aren't I? He said, actually, this is not a bad game, Dad. And I'm thinking, well, my boy's saying that, it might be all right for something that was made in 1995. And it's been great to draw people out, a bit of noise, and you can sit down and have a play. So that's been good. And then Sacrilege, but God, it looks good, is all the pages of the comics just stuck on the wall. It's just unbelievable. And I've got a shed that's lined out at the moment, completely unpainted inside. That's what's going on the wall. Exactly that.
Aren't you going to use it next year?
No, sadly, on Monday the 17th of March, I think it is, the Archibald.
No, next year.
No, sorry mate, no. It's got to be at least 10 years apart. Joy will divorce me. No, it's all coming. So, but that's a great idea. So if you've got a skull cave at home, don't worry about painting the wall, just do that. But don't use any of the comics under 300, alright? Under 13, And then this wall, with, look, again, it was like, what do you hang on the wall, what don't you hang on, how do you know, it's so hard to choose. The one that probably shouldn't be here is that horrible one up the top left.
You actually should, that's
I agree.
Yeah, who's on
If you've read the panel, it says my ex-friend Damien, it's called, because he barracks for Collingwood and he likes Hollands. And he got his mate Chad Stiles to draw that. And really, I said to him when he gave to him for his birthday a couple of years ago, I said, mate, I can't even hang this behind the dunny door. But anyway, I keep telling him, I got Timbo, my son half right, he barracks for Richmond, but he likes Hollands instead of Fords. But anyway, that's that had to make it up there just for the fact that the story behind that. The Glen Ford poster, you know, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, which one do you pick? How many can you cover up? You put everyone up. There's dozens of them. The Antonio cover from Dietmar. I put those there because basically I had one that was naked and one that was painted by Antonio, so that made it. The cards, the series, again, which sheet do you pick? The uncut sheets, they're so colourful, they're great, and the back's just as good, so you've almost, you know, which way can you hang it? So Joy had to pick that one, so I just said, oh, I'm not sure that one. So, and the last thing, wasn't the last thing, was it? Yeah, Alex Subiac, Tom came to our family club dinner, and he's been out drawing the fans of Spider-Man, and he did the Phantom 2040 series, and he actually drew 5 comics. But only 4 were printed. And so, just as an example, of the size of the original artwork, which is larger than A3, I don't know actually what the size is, larger than A3, but we've got a couple of pieces. The page on the left is the same as the comic page you see there, so it's the Whistleblower. And we all, a few of us reckon that Diana looks like Alex's wife. So, yeah, well, I reckon, yeah. So, yeah, but it's an idea of what the artwork that's pretty naked before they start putting the speech bubbles in and the words and other things. Yeah, so that's why that one ended up. The one up the top's Steve Panozzo painted. Glenn Ford birthday in Canada. And Dominic Kelly, that's good because he outbid us on the original of that. So we got another joy unbeknownst to me. Got Stephen also to do a similar one that Dominic got from that dinner. Because Wilson McCoy is really simple. I like Wilson McCoy's work. The next one was one of the dinners where Cy Barry just signed that lot of properties. I think we paid $25 for the plane, something like that. And all that money from our club, everything we buy, including this person that buys so much, Renee, all the money goes to the Westmead Children's Hospital. It's amazing. It's tens of thousands of dollars now, and I think it's 80 something. Yeah, it's quite sizable. Sorry?
Getting close to 100.
Yeah, I think it's getting close at the moment. Oh, that's a big night. So all that money, people bring stuff in. I know, I can't remember what it was, but Carlisle bought something in, and it was going for $20, $25. He said, $30 worth. He said, $30. So we bought it back himself. So we took it home. I don't really bought it back. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, I
remember it. So look, no one's going to get that $30. So he donated $30 to us. So everyone knows where the money's going, and we don't care basically. No, getting another piece of artwork. We've had Alex Subiak did some artwork there. Cy Barry's up there with the texture and all the stuff. Glenn Ford and stuff. It's just another way you catch up with the family again, say good day to everyone, and maybe get some bits and pieces of the family that you just can't get to shop anywhere, And then Glenn Ford's series of the villains, you can get that through the Bradford Exchange. And in fact, you get quite a few things, fan of stuff through the Bradford Exchange.
Yes, we know.
Yes.
You got the count there, Joy, haven't you?
Glenn's actually put those at the last dinner on 1 metre by 500 canvases. They just look sensational. Yeah. Redbeard looks, 20 foot tall, just as a metre high. It's unreal. Yeah. The bottom one is, how do you say his name again?
Serge Procopio.
Yeah, thank you.
Serge.
Serge, yeah. And you'll pick that he's telling the story about the ring to the fan and then to his son and that, but you'll notice that he's talking about the Goodmark ring, and it should be the skull. So that's whoops. But didn't have any artwork for him here. That's good. That cost lots. And the top picture is a sketch. It's a sketch by Ed Rhodes. And unfortunately, about a year and a half ago, just after he retired, Ed Rhodes was riding his push bike down a hill, ran into the back of a truck, a pickup, they call him in the US, caught by accident, and killed himself. So it's unfortunate because Pete Prowse and Ed Rhodes were the friends of the Phantom in America, and they have their luncheons in Say's Cafe every year, and which Lee Fort went to before he died, everyone. Again, it was sad because he was good with the pencil, with the artwork as well, and just by all accounts that we never met him. Nice bloke. So, and then last but not least, second last. Second last is the skull throne. You probably heard the story out there, but Joy got a bloke called Charlie Williams who makes used to make a lot of props for the Orchid Theatre Company to make the throne. He's just a genius, because when I first walked in, apparently I said bullshit several times because I couldn't believe it. And I looked at it, I knew it wasn't marble because it's too heavy. It just wouldn't be that. I knew Charlie didn't do fiberglass. He's painted MDF. And Joy said, I want to look 400 years old. And Charlie said, I'm sorry, Joy, you can't do that. It's just too good a paint job. I can't do that. the skull and the good mark are just cut out, one piece of timber, painted, and it just comes in several pieces. And Charlie had to come and take it apart, so I could bring it in here, and he came back here and set it up again, which is really good of him. But
and it comes with the remote, so you've got a remote for the eyes and the lights. So it's a boy's toy.
yeah. So we had friends come here last Sunday, and their little bloke, as soon as he saw the skulls with the eyes going like this, he was gone. Would not come back in here. Not at all. So they went. That bloke's got a pretty good kiss collection. I'm trying to convince him to come in here with set up something with kiss. Michael Keys.
I haven't seen his collection yet, but
No, he's got a bit of stuff. No, so and then last but not least, I said the little story about the plate and Joy walking.
No, that's all
Oh, sorry. Joy walking up hills and a few blocks away twice to put money in the parking meter so I could stay in this shop called Cat's Comics. I've never seen so much fam stuff in my life. And I think back, well, all but 14 years ago, Leon was the bloke, and he made us the Herald Sun. He paid $5,500 for a #1 Phantom, the Frew #1. And I actually got to hold it in plastic, but I got to hold it, and that was the first time I held a Frew #1 and looked at it and dribbled a bit. But that was a pretty good, and I knew Joy loved it because not only then, and I don't really want to say Melbourne, but we went and watched Melbourne and Geelong play a game of footy on our honeymoon. She loves it.
Monkey's is closed now, isn't it?
Yeah, gone. Yeah. He used to do a fair bit on eBay too. You don't see him on eBay much either. So, and that's the little luncheon card that Cy Barry signed for Joy, and Luke McDonald also signed. I wanted to put mine in, but Joy said, "Oh, I want something of mine in there." No, she didn't. No, that silver coaster was the first coaster we screen printed for the Leif Walkman Memorial Bengali Explorers Club. Our club, we have every dinner in Sydney for the Westmead Children's Hospital as such, and the napkin underneath is what we screen printed. That was the coloured version of what we had on their shirts, but that was the napkins. Because over there they got nothing.
For New York.
No, yeah, for New York, sorry, Sardi's Cafe, New York. And we gave them out for everyone that was there for the lunch, and other coasters and other things we did. Glenn Ford's mask, and I did that for one of the ones that did us, the silver coaster again. And just other stuff, because they don't get any of that stuff over there. So that was that's why. And that was a nice thing for Bianca, because that wasn't part of it. We were going to do a little film shoot there, but this thing, money, hurt us, because you'd be surprised the commitment Albury City put into this exhibition. That's amazing, and not well. Jules initially, Bianca, Karen, Kerry. There's guys all setting up. There was, I think, pretty well like 4 people here for 3 days, setting pretty well all this up. So big commitment from Albury City, and very much appreciated. That's been just great. And this piece was left over because we couldn't fit it on the 5th lot of the international comics, and so that got there. And that's the only reason those bits got there. And we're going to do a little movie shot with headphones on and that, but again, the cost that didn't happen.
The kangaroo in the Phantom's outfit. You see the caricature that goes to Hops from the shop?
Yeah, I love that. Well, I couldn't do that. I mean, I wanted to be a kangaroo, but and I like that picture, Billy Zane, with the pistols. So
this is you copyrighted that?
Oh, I don't know about copyrighted, but done it.
Trademark?
No, well, it just to us, to Joy and I, that's why we did the belt buckles, and that's why these shirts, we've done these for this, because that means something to us. No, you know, it's another fan thing, but it means something to us.
Well, I told you before, so I'll say it now publicly, 17 years ago, in parks in New South Wales, a group of people who loved Elvis Presley got together and had a dinner. And now look at it. Today, you think about that, so parks is now leaked, it's worldwide. There's Australia, Albury, the Phantom. It's going to be forever. Forever. You go to the mayor and the councillors of Albury and say we want $250,000. And we'll put
Again,
Because
And we'll put this
I think
on
there's
every-
an airplane, a paddle steamer, and a waterboard in the front.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
oh
We'll
yeah.
put this
exactly.
on every 2 years and they'll come. They'll come.
No,
And
I
that's
don't-
why you can't put that up in your bloody back shed. You're going to need it in 2 years' time.
No,
What's
look,
your backyard, mate?
look, I love Joy dearly, and I'd love to stay married to Joy.
Joy can be president of the committee. We'll pay it.
No, and look, it's like I said, really, Albury City put a fair effort into this. Yep, sure, we've bought a few bits and pieces in, and we've done we've put a few bucks into it too. But at the end of the day, would we do it again? Would I do it again?
If you had the money.
In a heartbeat. It's
See?
been fantastic.
What did you just say there?
If you had the money.
That's right.
Well,
see? That's
If it had the money, but it's just been fantastic. I learned so many things. See, I didn't even know. As I said, Glenn Ford did some of the designs for the tyres. I didn't know that.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I never knew that till I think last Friday or might have
Well,
known
not long
Thursday.
ago anyway.
Yeah. So there's just so many things. And then I'd ring up John Cooks and I say, well, what about this? And he said, no, have a look at this comic. Or Jermaine, Mr. Google. Should we get you a T-shirt that says Google, mate? The Phantom with Google or something. Yeah, where to work. Yeah, because he doesn't do any work, yeah. But, yeah, lots of, just, yeah, a lot of little people helped and I just learned stuff.
You do it, Bradley, they'll come. Someone once said that.
We've done it and they've gone.
And they'll keep coming.